Hi guys. This is going to be a rough one for me. I've been wanting to do a follow-up video for weeks and to kind of get back into the original reason why I started this podcast with that documentary that was coming out. I still haven't gotten the chance to see it. It's been a rough couple of weeks for me. So I got a really bad case of the flu. I guess it was like really, really bad in New Jersey. And of course, with my system the way that it is, I picked it up. I don't know if I got it at work or outside anywhere else, but I got really sick. I kind of have this defense mechanism now where when I feel like certain pains in my body, I know that they're not normal, and I know that it's a hospital sense of pain. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so 2 weeks ago, I started feeling pain while I was at work. I, woke up and I felt very short of breath, and I've had that before. It's just kind of like a flare-up with my graft-versus-host in my lungs, and I was like, it's okay, I'll go to work. I have my inhaler. If I have any really short breath episodes, I'll just, take that and I'll be okay. I went to work, and it just kept getting worse. It felt like I needed to sit down. Like, I felt like I couldn't handle being on my toes, and it just kept getting worse. So I wound up having to leave work early that day. I did go to the hospital because urgent care that evening, because I felt like flu symptoms, like just like body aches and like the not being able to breathe properly. And they did the tests at urgent care, and they're like, oh, well, you tested negative for COVID, tested negative for the flu, but the symptoms that you're presenting with kind of sound like the flu, so we're just going to call it that in the meantime. And I was like, all right. And it's kind of what it feels like. I've got really bad body aches and I can't breathe. So, that usually means one of the two. So I went home that night. And then the next day, I had to go to the hospital. Like, my body pains were so, like, more than they should be for like a flu or COVID symptoms. Like, they just felt like they felt like too bad than what I've felt. So I went to the ER. I hate the hospital in my town that's closest to me, and the problem is that I was so like spoiled because I got like the best treatment at UC Davis, Sacramento. Shout out to all my nurses and my cancer team there. There is no team like that hospital. But anyway, so I went to the emergency room. I wound up having to be on like a gurney in like the hallway because the ERs, none of the ERs these days have enough space for all the people that need to be there. So I think I was there for like 6 hours. The doctor there wasn't giving me proper medication for my pain, so like every time he came around and gave me something, he was like, oh, sorry that this isn't working for you. What can we do differently? I'm like, well, you could give me something more than Tylenol and Advil because that's what I've been doing at home. And that's not working. So, something different, please. We did all the tests like we did at urgent care, COVID and flu, and nothing came back positive. I think we did a EKG, a chest CT, nothing came back alarming. So at that point, they're just trying to treat for your symptoms, and he wasn't treating for my symptoms because I was still in pain, like after 6 hours of being there. And my husband knows, because like when I'm very good at tolerating pain because I've been through a lot physically. So when I'm starting to make noises out loud, I think, is when I've reached my pain brink. So when I start getting to that mode, I'm like, okay, I know, like, this is very annoying to people around me because it sounds very achy, and like I'm like putting it out there, like I'm expressing it, volumizing. I don't know. It's physically coming out of me so much that I'm in pain that I'm actually making noises. So and that's kind of at the time where my husband gets stressed because he did not go through the cancer journey with me. So whenever I'm in pain like that, where I am actually expressing it out loud, I think he gets very overwhelmed because he doesn't, know what it's like to go through this with me. I mean, he has gone through some shit with me. I was with him when I went through my stroke, when I've had my heart issues, my heart surgery. He has been through that with me, but he hasn't been through the part where cancer brings a lot of pain. So I think it's very difficult for him when I go through that part of the being sick process. So yeah, no, I was in a lot of pain, and it was, unfortunately, the area that I live in now, and I don't know why hospitals are like this. I feel like hospitals are always, and excuse me for using this term, I feel like they're always in a ghetto area. Like the hospital I was born in, the hospital I was treated in, the hospital I'm treating in now, they're always in like the shitty areas where like they almost expect people to come in with like pain or like drug withdrawal. So like when you're someone like me who comes in feeling like you're in a lot of pain, and then you look at my medical history where it looks like I've gotten a lot of narcotics in the past, I look like a drug seeker. And it's difficult because you become less and less believable at that point. But my pain was very real, and the doctor could not come with any solutions. He was like, oh, it kind of sounds like you have like a, we can't find anything, so we're gonna chalk it up to like a bladder infection. And I was like, sir, it's not. So TMI, ever since I was little, I have had a lot of bladder infections. I think it's just something I was born with, and like, it's just, I'm more susceptible to them. So since I have had so many, I know what the symptoms are. I know the kind of pain that I go through with them, because when I do get bladder infections, they are so painful. Like, they hit me like, oof, like tenfold. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, like, that's not what this is. That's not what this pain is, because I know what that pain would be. I was like, it kind of just feels like you're scrambling for answers at this point. You're just trying to find something to diagnose me with. And at this point, like, all these tests are coming back that you were hoping to find results on, and they're not. So, I mean, it's, again, me being a medical mystery. So, got sent home. I went home still in pain because they did not give me proper pain meds. You can't give me IV Tylenol and IV Aleve. It's the same thing as taking a pill at home. Like, I came to the ER for actual solutions and went home without them. So I was told, we think it's a UTI or a bladder infection. It wasn't. Just go home and rest. If you still feel like your symptoms are getting worse over the next couple hours, feel free to come back to the emergency room. So I went home, still in pain. And the worst feeling, I feel like, when you go to the ER is coming home in pain or more pain than you went there with. Because it's just like, why did I sit here for 6-7 hours to come home feeling worse or the same? Excuse me. Still getting over my flu. So I went home, I tried to go to sleep, and I woke up at like 2 a.m. and my chest felt really heavy. I wear my my watch to bed, and my heart rate was like sky high. I had a fever, and it was bad. And because I was like potentially sick, my husband was sleeping on the couch at the time, and I woke him up, and then I woke up in like a panic attack. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I was like half crying, half like what's the word? Hyperventilating. And I was like, I'm sorry, I have to go to the emergency room. I have to go. I can't breathe. I'm breathing too heavily. Like I feel like I can't catch my breath. Like I feel like I have a fever. Like I'm hot and cold. I'm chilly. I'm sweating, and like I am in so much pain. So we went back to the ER, and yeah, I got admitted like a couple hours later because I was told that I had a really bad case of the flu. So February seems to seem like my down month, where like I can get through the holidays, but like after the holidays, like all the germs just like catch up to me, and like my job, like whoever comes near me is like sick, and like if they're sick, I pick it up so easily, and it sucks. Like I'm always sick in the beginning of the year, and it blows. And then on top of that, like you can probably see me rubbing my eyes. My cheeks are all red. It's because my eyes are all red. My under my eyes are all inflamed. So I think when I had such this big boom of the flu, it just like effed my immune system, and I have a flare up of my graft versus host in my eyes. And when that happens, I am a miserable fucking bitch. I'm miserable because my eyes, they hurt. I can't see that great. My vision is blurry. And it seems like no matter what I put in my eyes, it doesn't help. I put like over-the-counter eye drops in. They last for about like a minute or two. I seek out medicated eye drops. They help for like 2 seconds. And then I feel like I'm putting so many different eye drops in my eyes just to find relief. And like, it doesn't help. I wouldn't wish eye pain or eye blurriness or dry eye on my worst enemy. Like, and I told my mother this tonight. I was like, I've been through so much shit with my medical history and all this pain. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, because your vision, I feel like, is like the number one thing in your day-to-day like normal functioning. And like when it's fucked with, it's all you can focus on. Like I have been out of work for so long now with having the flu, and now on top of it, my eyes decided to flare up at the same time, and I'm miserable. I am so miserable. Like there are moments where I really feel like reaching into my sockets and ripping my eyeballs out. Like it's that bad. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's just, it's fucking horrendous, dude. Like, I can't. I can't describe it. Like, I've had so many, like, side effects with graft versus host disease with, like, my gut, my skin, my lungs, my mouth, my eyes, my hair. So many side effects, and like I bitch about them all the time because I'm not supposed to be going through all this shit. Like I'm supposed to be enjoying, my youth, and my youth has become more of just trying to deal with like my medical history and my medical problems. But this shit is the worst. It's the fucking worst. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, I went to an eye doctor months ago, and she was like in Rivers Edge, New Jersey, like damn near New York, and that was like back in October. And then she gave me some steroid eye drops, and then like I've had relief for like the past 3.5 months, and No, I don't know. I'm like right back to it. And doctor I saw today gave me like samples of like the heavy duty eye drops that are out now, and the fact that they're not working for me is making me want to bang my head against the wall. I know I started this channel because I wanted to go back into the history of my journey and encourage survivors. But I think at the same time, I need to be transparent about what you go through afterwards. And this is the shit that's part of it. I'm not gonna lie. It's just this is the shit part. I wanted to do another video because, like I said, February was my diagnosis month, and like I have all these like screenshots I took of Facebook and all the things that I was posting back then. Like I wanted to be like uppity, like, hey, I'm doing so much better with this. I'm not going through chemo anymore. But you know what? I don't want to be dishonest. If you wind up having a bone marrow donor that is not related to you, this is unfortunately some of the side effects that you might be met with. You might be 6-7 years in remission and still dealing with the side effects. I mean, there are days that I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, this is all I've been able to grow in 8 years. These like painful splotches on me are what I get for surviving cancer. I mean, my arms are full of pin pricks and all this blood work sites. It's just, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you are going through chemo, if you are going through the cancer that I went through, if you're going through the after effects now, it is not all rainbows. It's not. There are down times that you're going to face in the future. But at the same time, I wouldn't trade all the pain that I've gone through for the experiences that I got back. I've gotten to see my nephews grow. My one nephew, my first nephew, he's going to be in high school very soon, and that blows my mind. He's taken an interest in musical theater, and my other nephew is interested in like filmmaking, which like, makes my heart explode because that's what I